All right, so this is a rundown of how you can use Google Sheets to plot your data for M13 in Physics 1A. Okay, first thing we're going to do, you're going to get your labels at the top like this: time, position, etc. You should have all of your position data in this column here. Starting off, we're going to put a 0 in column in cell A2, and then directly below that, we're going to type equals, and we're going to put A2 plus 1. That's going to make it so that every cell here is going to, when you drag the edge of it, will fill up with um, times. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we can follow the lab manual here, is type in this column B3 minus B2, and then we multiply by 60. Every time interval was a 60th of a second, so that gives us the velocity between the two data points. And then in this column, we're going to type equals C3 plus C2, and we're going to divide by 2. That's going to give us our average velocity. And now we're going to take these. Okay, let me say what I did there. So click on this cell, and then click on this cell. And the way you do that is you click on this one, hold down Shift, click on this one, let go of Shift. On the corner of this, drag down to the bottom. We're going to throw away these two data points, and we're going to throw away this data point because they're both referencing cells that are empty. Now we want to plot it. This is where it's a little bit different. So we're just going to select column B by clicking on it, hold down Control, select column D, let go of Control, push Insert, click Chart, and you're going to get something like this. Now, this isn't what we want, so we need to, what we really want, we're going to try that one more time. Okay, let's delete this. Oh, we need to close this. Delete this. Okay. Actually, let's hold down, we'll click on A, then hold down Control, click on B, hold down Control, click on D, like that. Insert, Chart. Okay, this is closer to what we want. The one thing we need to change is we need to get rid of, it's trying to plot time as well. That's what the blue line is right here. So we're going to remove time by clicking on this thing, pushing remove. And then we're going to add an x-axis. And we're just going to click on column A. And it's going to use, there we go. So now we've got from 0 to 40 for whatever my times were. We're also going to change from a line chart that it suggests by default to a scatter plot, like that. And you should have something that roughly looks like this. I'll make this a little bit bigger. So next what we want to do is to get our trend line for the average velocity, right? And to do that, it's a little bit different than Excel. What you need to do is click on Customize, and then click on Series, and then go to Velocity Average. And now we need a trend line. Click on that. You can see it throws in a trend line. We need to change it to a polynomial, and we're going to increase the degree. Our options are basically 4 or 6. There's 4, at least for my data. 6 looks better to me. It just looks like a nice smooth curve that hits most of the data points. And finally, we need the equation. So under label, you're going to click use equation right there. And there's your equation. Okay, so now the next thing we have to do is going to be somewhat time consuming. Not going to take that long. It's just, there's no way apparently to just get this equation and copy paste it into a cell, unfortunately. I did a minimal amount of Googling. If you can figure out how to do it, let me know. So we're just going to type it in. So we just type in what it says right here. So 23 point, so equals 23.2 plus that one, 5.15. And now everywhere that there's an X, okay, we're going to write times, oops, let's back up here, times, we need to put time into this. So A2 is the cell that we want. You'll notice that it highlights it right there. And that's to the first power. So we're done with that term. Plus, not equals, plus. This term is going to be 0.24, and then you have to do times, that's the shift 8, and then A2 to the power of 2. And we just go through, we type everything in exactly as it is. Okay, so there's the next term. And this is going to be kind of slow, so you can feel free to zip ahead in the video as I do this. just going to type every one of these in here. It'll also recognize scientific notation, so you can just type this one in exactly as it says, 9.05, and then capital E. I don't think you even need the capital, but 04, and again, times A2, and now we're to the power of 4, so to the 4th. Okay, next one is negative, so we'll just do subtraction. 8.44 E, negative 0.6. This is really slow. I don't have a this is to the 5th power. I don't have one of those numpad 10 keys on this computer, so okay. And that last one is 8.69 E minus 0.8 times A2. And we're to the 6th power. And then just make sure like that these are the same, so 23.2, okay. 5.15 times A2, 0.24 times A2 squared, okay, so on and so forth. It looks good to me. I'm sure if there's an error, one of you guys will notice it. We'll also see it as soon as we do this. Okay, so that should all be in there. Make sure you got an equal sign at the front. Just push the enter key. If you did everything right, you should just get a number. Okay, and then when you go back and look at it, you'll see that they've changed all these scientific notations to the, actual decimal forms, showing that Excel recognized what you wrote. If you get an error, just try it again. Be careful with entering it. Okay, the hard part's over. From here on out, it's pretty easy. Now we'll just take the corner of this, click on it, drag down. We've got all of our velocities now. And to get acceleration, acceleration's the change in velocity, right? So if we take, and this is again following the lab manual, we want to do this cell E3 minus E2, there we go. And then again, we multiply by 60 for the 60th of a second. And there we go, we got our acceleration. And now all we need to do is to drag that one down to the bottom. And that's it. Now again, we're gonna need to put this into this plot. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but what they tell you to do in the lab manual is just copy that and then click on this and then paste. I don't think it works. Yeah, it doesn't seem to work. So you have to just do a new plot, I guess. There's other ways to do it. It's the easiest thing to do is probably just do a new plot. So again, click on A, hold down Control, click on B, click on D and F. Those are the ones you want to plot. We'll go Insert, Chart, change it to a scatter chart again. Remove the time from this axis right here. Under X-axis, we want to select data range. We want that to be our time. And now the last thing we need to do, I'm going to go ahead and just shift this off the screen so it's not distracting. The last thing we need to do is to get a secondary axis for the acceleration. If you just click on a data point, it'll take you over here to series and it'll get you on Excel. That's where you need to be. It's under customize series if you want to just find it that way. And what we need to do is, it says left axis, click right axis. And then you're pretty much done. You need to follow all the other things they say to do in the manual. I'm leaving those out. You need to change the title and make it all look good. And maybe put units on these things. And maybe you want to go back in here and you want to put the trend line back on. So you'd go up here and you click velocity and then do the same thing you just did before. Polynomial. Degree 6. Label, use equation. Okay, so that should cover most of the details of how you need to do this. Of course, if you guys have any questions, you can ask me during class or ask during office hours. I hope this helps you out. Thanks for watching.